That's right. It's the Lions Fan Cave chat. For right now, I have Kneecap Bill and Keegan, Will Vogel, and Don't Shoot the Messenger, Dom DeRubis, Detroit Dom. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing great.
Tired from work, but excited to talk Lions football.
So it started
Same.
out as though MCDC hinted yesterday that Bugs would play, and the word is out. He's playing. Hallelujah. He's not a healthy scratch. When will we not see Martin as a healthy scratch? Seeing as how we traded up to a third round for him, he needs to get playing time to get better, in my opinion. What say you, Keegan?
I say, well, we saw it against Seattle. Gino was running up the middle. No one was there to get him. With Bugs in there, that's definite improvement on the interior D line. And especially, we traded up for Martin. Why haven't we seen him at all yet?
Exactly. Well,
Yeah, I agree. Having Bugs in there is going to be very important, especially stopping guys like Geno Smith and mobile quarterbacks. And also, I agree, Broderick Martin, you moved up in the draft to get the guy. Why aren't you playing him? You drafted him for a reason.
Dom?
So, Broderick Martin has not been hurt
Nope.
at all.
Healthy scratch 2 weeks in a row.
I don't, at this point, I'm confused. Like, week one, whatever had happened with Bugs, like, I think he had an attitude problem. And given the fact that Levi was finally healthy, because guess what? You draft Levi in the second round. Now he's finally healthy. Guess what? Bugs, you probably never would have got signed. You definitely wouldn't have been a starter. And I get why Martin didn't. I mean, I still would have had him in the lineup.
Right.
But, and then last week, I'm like, but now I'm so confused because our best run stuffer on the roster, Bugs, and then a guy we drafted, moved up to draft to be a run stuffer, and neither one of them start. But then we shut down Kenneth Walker.
And we basically shut down Pacheco, too.
Yeah.
Also, in the meantime, we played Benito Jones, and he didn't do great. He didn't look great.
I agree.
You know, and everybody says Broderick came out a little bit raw, but he flourished in the Senior Bowl playing in that 4-3 as a DT2. That O-line had to put, and these are Power 5 guys that were on the O-line. We're not talking about scrubs at the Senior Bowl. It was a guy from Alabama, a guy from Georgia, a guy from Iowa, a guy from Wisconsin, and a guy from Michigan were the starters, and they couldn't stop him because he came from a school that was traditionally a four-man front defense. He's a true DT2, and he also was a pass rush specialist from the defensive tackle position with Northern Alabama. So, you know, the only reason why he looked bad at Western Kentucky is because it was his first year playing as a true nose tackle.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
I don't care if you're raw. Our run defense is terrible.
Our run defense has actually been the best part of our game right now, which is
stupid.
Number 10.
Yeah, 10th
in run defense, 1 sack. That I don't count.
Yeah, because it was a total
hands alone after Geno dropped back 35 yards.
It was after Geno looked like he was controlled by a bad man-in player getting pressured.
That was the Geno Smith I remember.
Yeah, it's like it had to show up then.
Like, hey, there's Geno Smith.
I just wish he'd have went one more yard further back, so it could have been a safety, and it would have been game over.
Yeah.
There's many different things that could have led to that.
I know,
game
but let's address the chat now that we got through the topic. I'm going to go all the way to the top here for a second. Because want to see Fonts really grimace? Remind him Warren Moon would have been a cheaper free agent than Scott Mitchell. And King SJ says, "Hey guys." Donkey Kong says, "I say fuck it. Season's over already." Oh no. Say what you
Mm-mm.
always say, Donkey Kong. Super Bowl or bust. I haven't lost faith in 11
On,
wins.
we're 1-1. No one had us at 2-0.
Yes, you did. But anyways,
I did.
Not me.
you
No,
said,
I'm 2 for 2 so far. Sadly, soon to be 3 for 3.
yep. Yeah. And Donkey Kong says, "Yeah, totally confused. Yeah, draft a running back and linebacker high. Now they barely play a third round DT. Just chills and just chills inactive. It's a real shit show." Broderick came out a bit raw. A learning curve is to be expected to some extent. I suspect he'll be better in 9 through 17 games if they let him play. He will be better. You can't expect him to get better riding the pine. That's my issue.
Unless if there's something at practice that we're not seeing.
That's what I'm wondering.
And Bugs got a little high on himself, and he got upset that Levi got the starting job. But Levi is a second rounder. Bugs was a UDFA that stuck with Pittsburgh for 4 years before he came here. So he was just a rotational piece there. He emerged as the starting defensive tackle too here because we had nobody that could do it. Granted he was average to above average at times, but he wasn't great. I will stand by that. Do you mean like something at practice with Martin showing he sucks balls? No, not really sucks balls. I know they had Bugs working with him about getting low and doing the proper hand pop, which is the thing that they said he lacks right now for a guy his size was hand pop and leverage, getting low. So they were working on that, and he's such a big guy that when he got low under that sled dummy, he damn near flipped the sled over.
Oh my God.
Well, he's almost 6'5". He's like 6'4.5" and 340 pounds, and it's a lot more muscle than fat.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me is that if you look at his leg shape, real super thick thighs, like Barry Sanders type of thighs, and Kerryon Johnson size calves and shins.
Oh.
No. Why would you even bring up Carry On?
Carry on my wayward son, Johnson.
Carry on my wayward me. We are beating the Falcons Sunday. We shut down the run.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Here and I'm going to say exactly. Let's get into that key of the game. My key to the game is to do exactly what the Packers failed to do. They have a weak left tackle, and they kept Quay Walker on the left-hand side, which helped to limit Behan, because that's how he had his 17 tackles. A lot of them were on Behan, just getting around the left tackle. We need to do just the opposite. Our best run stuffers and our best tacklers, linebacker-wise, need to be on that right-hand side of the ball where they're good on that side of the line to help limit it. Because on the right side of the line, he averaged 5.3 yards per carry. On the left, he averaged 2.3. So that left tackle doesn't allow him to get past the D ends very often. That sounds like wrap-up tackles by a D end or D tackle as he gets through that side of the line. Whereas the other side, he was breaking free and getting to where he's getting tackled by linebackers and safeties. And Rashawn Gary, as much as he's a great pass rush specialist, he's just like every other pass rush specialist. He overruns running backs and misses the tackle, which allows him to get those 5 yards on that side.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody disagree with what I just said there?
Nope.
So my D-line, Hutchinson's going on the left end. He's matching up with that left tackle because then he can feast on Ritter's blind side.
Yeah.
You got to use a combination of Comiskey, Harris, and Okwara on the other side.
One of those three has to step up.
Well, they've been stepping up in the run game. They can't step up in the pass. For some reason, none of them are stepping up in the pass rush. And I hope when Hutch is on the field, it's more Commish because that seems to be the combination there. And then if I see another third down with our corners in that soft zone where they sit 10 to 15 yards back like in a Joel Berry defense again, I'm going to rage. because we can't do that with Kyle Pitts and Drake London. They will feast underneath across the middle, especially Drake London. Kyle Pitts, he has not been much. He's not much. He's got Julio Jones DNA, which gives him an allergy to the end zone. He can only score when overseas.
Mhm.
Yes. Right, James?
That's it. Yeah.
Yep, bingo, James.
Yeah, it stopped the run and let Ritter try to do something.
Which you
And you
can't.
can't say that
Plus, this is Ritter's,
Drake
what?
London did not tear up the Packers. He had one
Yeah.
touchdown. He had like 60 yards, and it was on 6 catches on 12 targets.
Yep.
And okay, the word is out. Kelsey's not as good as everybody thought he would be this year. He's getting older. He's slowing down. You want to know why? Last week he was 4 of 9. 4 catches on 9 targets, 3 drops, 26 yards, 1 touchdown. You know what that was? Worse stats than Noah Gray had in the first half versus the Lions. And as a matter of fact, Noah Gray had better stats overall in that game. 3 catches on 5 targets, no drops, and 61 or 31 yards.
Honestly, I gotta say his Kelsey's knee
It's
looks
bothering him
great,
more than
but
it's
mentally, it's hitting him.
it's the mental hurdle after an injury. We've seen it lots of times with good players. You get an injury, you come back too soon, and it's on your mind.
Yeah.
And that's the same.
We are going to see a steady diet of Tracy Walker and Brian Branch at the safety positions. Now, this is the time when it doesn't matter who they put back there in that joker safety slot because both guys can do the same job when it comes to that. Either one of them can be that in the box safety. Which they made a big mistake. They kept using CJ in coverage, which he's good in coverage. Don't get me wrong. He tied the league in interceptions, but a lot of that, if you watch the Eagles last year, was about being at the right place at the right time versus perfect coverage.
James.
Oh God, James, that's bad.
That is bad.
But Kirby Joseph was being used more in the joker position on that defense instead of the single high zone safety like he did last year.
Yeah.
And again, it's like Glenn looks like he's trying to be an evil genius and putting people in positions that they don't belong to see if they'll stick. Because Patricia did that all the time with this defense, like making a rookie corner play the cornerback one position, make
With no preseason.
with no preseason whatsoever because of COVID.
And then you get Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
With no pass rush.
Yeah.
Right. And the bad part is, in 2019, the year before with no pass rush, every time it looked like we had a pass rush, somehow a hand to the face was called. When a guy was holding their shoulder.
I mean, you can't just say it's Patricia. The whole putting players in positions to fail transcends multiple coaches, coordinators.
Oh, yes. There's my Bay City brother, Mike Soror, popping in to say hi. What's up, Jeremy? It's Mike Soror, brother. I love it, Mikey. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I'm really anxious to see what we do at that safety position and how they use them. But they need to use, instead of making them both do the joker thing or cover in man, we need to do that single high zone safety again. I don't care who's back there. Because in zone coverage, Walker isn't horrible. In man coverage, he's booty cheeks.
Terrible.
So
yeah, or Warrior.
Yes.
Yeah, and so in that zone coverage, either one of them can be the single high safety at that point. And I kind of like Branch in that position better than Walker because Walker is a proven secure tackler, led the team 2 years in a row because our front seven was so bad.
Yeah.
So we got Walker and Branch there. You got Cam Sutton, who is our CB1, and he's proved it every week. That being said, at 2, call up Stephen Gilmore, sign somebody, Bring up that kid that we just signed to the practice squad. I don't care as long as it's not Jerry Jacobs or Will Harris.
Ugh.
Jacobs.
Yep.
Jacobs is a great zone coverage corner, but like Oruwariye, you put him in those man coverage situations and it gets in his head that he's burnt and he'll be burnt in zone. So you either do it right the first time and leave him there, or you don't use him.
What about a combination of Tracy and Brandon Joseph?
Well,
And
Brendan Joseph is on the practice squad. He hasn't made the active roster yet.
No,
So
if he gets a calls up.
If he gets a call up. But I like the idea of using a combination between Gilmore and Jacobs. If it's zone, use Jacobs. If it's man, use Gilmore.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it going to hurt? It can't hurt to try that. St. Brown is playing. Josh Reynolds is playing. The guys that are out, and this is the one that hurts, we're back to... They're going to play. They were both full participants in practice the last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that scares me, though, is Taylor Decker's still out, so that means Panay Sewell is the left tackle. Vitai's out, so that means it's either going to be Glasgow or Sorsdahl. And I personally, because Sorsdahl actually played tackle in college, I would have Sorsdahl play right tackle over Matt Nelson because we know Matt Nelson is a turnstile there who gets turned faster than a screen door knob.
Yeah.
So I would like to see it be Glasgow at guard and Sorsdahl at tackle. Or you do the two call-ups, make it the one corner that you were talking about out of, where is he, Western Michigan?
Darius Williams, I think.
Yeah, out of Western, right?
Yeah.
And then make the other one Gaynor. Corey Gaynor out of Baylor. He's a tackle as well. Because Sorsdahl's on the active roster. We don't have to call him up. It's just let him play.
Yeah.
So I would like
we're
to...
at, what, 36 games? We're 1 for 36?
1 for 36.
Honestly, I would...
like Shaq shooting free throws.
And the fact that we only gave up, 2 sacks to Seattle without the starting 5 in there? And, it was 3, because the one was almost a fumble. Yeah, and Dan Skipper's back with the team.
Richard.
He's on the practice squad, and I don't think they're going to call him up this week because he's got to get his feet wet again. He hasn't played since last season. So, and I know Dan Skipper's back.
He's like the tallest tackle ever that now plays guard. Dude is legit like 6'8", 6'9".
He is 6'9" and 330 pounds.
That's a big boy.
I had Brent DeWitt. Nelson should be a meter greeter at Walmart because he lets everyone go by him. Nice one. The only time that we had a tackle on the left-hand side was when Reynolds didn't block the linebacker that got to Goff. I don't know what happened. Reynolds used to be okay at blocking back there on linebackers and corners when they were blitzing. And he looked awful on that play.
Yeah. I'd rather see more James Mitchell in the backfield. Blocking.
I don't think they're going to do that as long as Cabinda's healthy. If Cabinda's on the roster, James Mitchell will be on the line. Because Sam Laporta, what I've seen, he blocks better out of that split end tight end position than out of the actual on the line end. Because he does better blocking downfield for the runners as they get past the line.
I would say, speaking of, Sam Laporta coming in clutch.
I was going to say he's also got 10 catches.
It's the
in 2
first.
weeks.
That is a record for tight ends period in the NFL. Consecutive 5+ catches.
That's awesome.
Never saw
True.
Hawkinson come in clutch.
Well, Hawkinson had the best rookie tight end debut in history.
Right. For one
in
game.
the next 4 weeks, he had like 3 catches total.
Okay, well, I'm saying...
What I like from Laporta was, unlike Hawkinson, he caught 2 different times last week. He caught the ball, 4 or 5 yards?
And turned it
short
into 10.
Of the marker,
and
got there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about fourth quarter. We didn't see Hawkinson that much. Now we see Laporta in the fourth quarter.
Let's hock and suck. Get it right.
Or
Droppinson.
drops.
Droppinson.
Yeah, that too. TJ Droppinson. TJ
Huck and
non-Blockinson.
drop.
However you want to say
He's
it.
a very rich man now.
Yeah. Kudos to the Vikings. Wow.
Did you hear the rumor with the Vikings?
Which one?
If they lose this week, they're tanking and trading Kirk Cousins immediately.
Yeah, they'll trade him by the deadline either way because he's gone next season. If they're not in playoff contention, they're not going to keep him.
That's the smartest move.
If they trade Kirk,
Even if they made the playoffs, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
Like,
who's their backup?
if you have a guy,
It's not
that's
Kellen
worth
Mond.
anything. If you have a guy that's worth
Who is their
anything
backup?
and you don't plan on keeping him, trade him.
it's the other
Look up
Nate.
to
I
the
can't
back.
think of his last name.
So, yes, Amon-Ra and Reynolds are both playing, and Reynolds is starting to actually come around to be a good receiver, not just okay. Last couple of years, he's been okay. He was a nice addition when the injuries came in, and he was depth and came in, and now he's starting to look like he's balling out.
Yes.
And the best part about this week is, it's week 3. You know what that means on Monday? Guess who's back practicing with the team?
JMO.
And he needs it.
Nice.
He needs those reps for those 3 weeks to get into game shape.
Isn't he playing week 4 or week 5?
What's that?
Isn't JMO playing week 4 or week 5?
He can't play.
No,
He-
7.
Oh, 7.
Week 7. He gets 3 weeks of practice time with the team.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Madden has my mind in a loop right now.
And Taylor
it's
Lewan is
Jaron-
still a free agent too. Yeah, he is.
We're not going to go
It's
sign a
Jaron Hall
tackle.
and Nick.
The guy that
Jaron Hall and Nick Mullins.
The guy that-
is their backups.
the guy that's never turned in his retirement papers and would be the perfect piece to help this defensive tackle room get some swag, and we got the cap space to do it. Bring Sue home.
Yes, please.
That'd be sick.
We bring Sue back, and we have good connection with Calvin. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, they were teammates at one point.
Yeah, those two. Calvin
Yeah.
could
Oh,
this
man.
year offense.
Those two in Stafford
Imagine
were
Hutch and
50%
him.
of our
Oh my
cap.
God. He could teach Hutch a crap ton.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm just saying right now, Sue's like a $6 million defensive tackle at 33. We
And
have
now-
18 million.
he would be immediate starter on this team right now. Anyway,
I don't know if he'd be a great rotational starter. He'd start, but he wouldn't be in every down.
yes.
But he's still a great run stuffing
Like most
DT.
of our D line
Right.
and linebackers.
JMO just blows.
You're kidding. You can't call him a bust yet. All I'm saying.
Donkey Kong,
Eric! What's up, brother?
Donkey Kong, I have not seen a positive comment on the lines yet tonight.
I've seen a couple. No, that's wrong. He was told immediately that he could be practicing as of week 4.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If he would come back, I would not hesitate on Sue. Absolutely, Rodney Fauch. I mean, what's it going to hurt? You know what he's done as a rotational piece for the last 3 teams he's been on? He's been in the Super Bowl, 1-1.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't he on the
Yeah.
Eagles back when Foles won?
No. He was with the Rams with Goff when they went in 2018. 2019, when Tom Brady and the Buccaneers won, he was on there.
Yeah.
And then he was with the Eagles last year when they lost to the Chiefs. He's
Okay,
1-2. Oh, look at this. We got somebody popping in. I wonder. It's
Big Dick.
Nate!
What's up,
What's up?
fellas? How
What's up,
y'all
Nate?
doing?
Okay. Amon-Ra is playing. Josh Reynolds is playing. Who's out is Montgomery, Decker, Vitae, and the plethora of people on the IR.
Yep.
And Mosley's still not back yet.
Darn.
And
Oh,
I said
correct.
there's one DT free agent that I would bring back right now to mentor this D line and get them
Don't
swag.
say Dominican Sue.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Come on.
We're doing good in penalties, man. We don't need a Dominican Sue back.
He hasn't been a penalty magnet since he was a Lion the first time.
He brings the swagger.
Does he even want to come back to us? That's the question.
I think, well, number one, he's part owner of Calvin Johnson's Weed Shop. Number two, he owns an apartment complex here in Detroit.
Oh, okay.
He's not doing shit else.
Yeah.
And number
He didn't
three,
he didn't turn in his retirement papers. He's 33 years old and still provides a good rotational piece in the D tackle room.
My question is, what the hell happened to Levi, man?
He's actually 36.
36? Okay.
Levi.
What happened to Levi?
What happened to Levi? Levi
he's not
happened to
even
Levi.
playing.
Levi
back.
happened to Levi.
Oh.
That's why Bugs is going to play this week.
And that's why Martin might be called up too.
Is he
'Cause
hurt
Pascal's
again?
out.
Levi, yeah. I thought I saw him
Shit.
touching his back when he went down.
I was going to say, is Levi's back hurt? Yes.
Ah.
The sun came up.
Damn it.
It's
That's
kind
the
of like
only.
Vi-
That's the only
it-
knock that Brad Holmes has is Levi.
No,
Damn it.
not really. I mean, the knocks were his trades that he made that first season too.
Trinity Benson.
Trinity Benson, Michael Brockers.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah, and Jameer Jefferson.
Mm.
Say what you want, all of those are knocks.
Yeah, but those aren't big knocks. I mean, you're gonna hit and you're gonna miss and swing on
Jefferson we
those.
drafted.
I mean, 22 to 23 players on the roster are on the active roster. That's pretty impressive. Find me a team that has all those kind of draft pick status.
And James Ridge says, Sue, smoking the diggity dank? No. Oh, wait. Yeah.
yeah,
It's legal in
of course
Michigan.
he is.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'd love to see Broderick Martin. I know that he's raw, but I think he's got a lot of intensity, and I
Yes.
want to see that guy go off.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying with Pascal still out, because he got put on the IR last week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that was last week. That's week 1. He has 3 more weeks to go.
yeah. Pascal's a huge loss, man. He played really good in that first game, and then he
Yep.
got
But
hurt.
you know what? The running game didn't lose a beat. We did well against Kenneth Walker and the Seahawks overall.
But because they threw all over us, man. That's why.
Yeah.
Jerry
Oh.
Jacobs says the main reason they threw all over us because if you
He's
look,
still gonna be there this Sunday. Shit.
no, I'm saying call up whoever you have to and make him a healthy scratch. Gilmore was a healthy scratch last week. Why?
I mean,
have
if he
no
gets
clue.
torched early, I see them putting Lucas in there, but I don't know how much
Lucas is in the practice squad or hurt right now.
He's hurt.
No, Lucas is on the active roster.
Yeah, he's
what
on
are
the
you
active.
talking about?
Yeah, he's on the
He
active
got called
roster.
up last week.
Yeah.
Geno Smith just has our number.
No,
Yeah, so does every other shitty quarterback.
yo, shut up. Don't
Just
say
the
that.
mobile ones.
The only problem was Geno stepping up in the pocket. We didn't have a D tackle.
I tell you what, man. If freaking Ritter runs all over us, Aaron Glenn
He
just
won't.
might as well put up his hands and say, you know what, guys, just fire me now.
Hey, he already admitted it was his fault on how the defense played.
It was his fault, man. He's too prideful. He needs to change his shit up.
Well,
Sorry.
poor kid, he got beat like he stole something, Jacobs.
He's got to mix it up, man. He's got to mix it up.
Ritter is not mobile like that.
No, he's not.
Ritter is not mobile like Geno Smith or Mahomes or even Goff. He has very limited get outside the pocket and run. This
Right.
isn't college. He's scared to get hit by linebackers in this league.
Yeah, he's like a kind of a Russell Wilson type.
Man, Donkey
Hey, do y'all
Kong, you've
think
gone
we see
you've
a-
gone
Russell
off the
Wilson
deep end.
too.
You used to be so supportive, and now you're just wow. You know, fellas, even if they sign Sue, the staff would just use him on the inactives, draft and sign, then sit him down, laughing my fucking ass off.
Do y'all think that we spy this game just in case?
No,
No.
because Aaron Glenn doesn't know what that word means.
Aaron Glenn does
Well,
not
I mean,
spy.
maybe he finally learned. Shit.
No,
Oh well, yeah. Maybe he'll finally spy a non-mobile quarterback.
They got to start somewhere.
Annalise is much improved against the run. I have actually toned down my rhetoric on him. Damn it. I have to pretend
That's
to
all
be
he
an adult.
does. He doesn't do anything else. He's worthless.
Oh, no, he was the only one that got a sack.
Yeah.
That sack does not count.
That's not a sack. I thought Anzalone was the only guy that sacked in like last game.
That's
was
Annalise.
That was Gino being pre-2022 Gino.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know what he's
I
got.
said it. I said it. What happened was the timing was perfect in a Madden game when somebody had control of the Seahawks and they got pressure on the game and they started controlling Gino.
I love it, man. I love it. I'll tell you what, y'all. Brad Holmes has definitely got to get some girth inside that in the middle in this coming up draft. He's got to go with the best defensive
We got to
tackle
see
on
the
the
girth
board.
he has. We haven't seen Bugs, who's the second biggest tackle on this team, and we haven't seen Martin, who's the biggest tackle.
Yeah,
on
but
this
they're
team.
not pass rushers, man. That's the only problem. They're just pluggers.
Nate.
We need
Oh
pass
my
rushers.
God, Nate. The only time that Broderick Martin was not a pass rusher was with Western Kentucky as a 3-4 nose tackle.
Yeah.
Go look up his numbers with Northern Alabama when he was a DT2 in a four-man front defense.
I believe it. I believe it. But what I'm saying is that you have got to get pressure in the middle, and that's the problem with the Lions. Is that
no, the problem isn't the people. The problem is the scheme because Glenn let Todd Walsh walk out of this defense because it was the only guy that was going to contend with him to take over as defensive coordinator because he's the one that dialed up the exotic defensive stunts and defensive line passing moves that helped this defense last year.
I thought he went to Carolina because he wanted to get closer to his family. Like
That's Deuce.
That was Deuce.
But
Walsh.
I thought he also left too because he wanted to be closer to family.
No, they let him walk out the door. They just let him walk out the door.
And Nate, we don't really have a big need at the tackle. Our need is corner or a guard.
No, we need a tackle, man. We need another. I'm not a believer in the Leem anymore, man. Leem is a role player at best. You need a stud inside to go with a Leem.
We got to see what we got. We got to see. He's had no one of girth next to him. No one. Everybody's been under 300 pounds that's played.
Yeah.
With Bugs and Martin on the bench. That's what I'm getting at. The only 300-pounder on that D-line when they're on the bench is Martin.
I agree. I agree. Martin's a big dude. There's no doubt.
So
he's a huge dude.
Without having those guys play next to him, you can't see what Aleem can do because he's taken on the double team.
Right. Yeah.
And by not stunting, you're leaving your defensive ends in 2-on-1 situations for your best one.
Yeah. It's a mess on the D line. I mean, thank God we have
just
Aiden.
Trade JMO and that last extra first round pick and whatever the fuck else it took.
We don't have an extra first round pick anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm saying last year.
You can't trade JMO.
That's another Brad Holmes failure.
Richard, no.
You can't trade JMO.
I wouldn't, Richard.
He's gonna leave himself.
You can't trade JMO because every year is a $20 million dead cap hit for his contract. Saying, not just the year you get rid of him; it's every year after that in that rookie contract.
No, but we do need JMO because he spreads the field, man.
Exactly.
We don't have nobody takes us seriously in the passing game because we don't have anybody that can take the top off the defense. So we do need JMO.
Especially JMO is the Tyreek Hill. He can easily get by you with speed. And if you have a quarterback that has a good deep ball.
Deshaun Jackson, man. He's like a Deshaun Jackson. You put Deshaun Jackson in there.
Yeah, I think that's actually the pro comp because he's a smaller receiver. He's fast as hell.
Yeah.
He's
going to take the top
6 foot tall and under 190, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
So because I've seen him listed as 178 and I've seen him listed as 188. So nobody knows what JMO weighs. We just know he's right around 6 foot tall.
Deshaun Jackson and Jamison Williams both weigh 30 pounds more than Devontae Smith.
That's crazy.
Yep. Wow.
And you know what, guys? I was thinking about this too earlier that I think that JMO's kind of falling along the Devontae Smith kind of timeline because if you look at his rookie year, he wasn't as impactful as he is this year. This year seems like he's got it, and he's really taken over that number one receiver in Philadelphia. And I
Fuck
think
no! Come on!
no, come on. I'm serious.
You're saying
No.
he's the one,
Look
not
at the-
AJ Brown?
Look at the targets. Targets don't lie.
He's the number one target, but he is not on the line as the wide receiver one.
Well,
But he's
I have
playing
a
like a
few-
one.
I'll be back.
Smith will be number one
Exactly.
If
He's
you hear-
already
because
Wait,
of
When
AJ
AJ
Brown.
Brown dies,
Because of
AJ Brown is becoming 1B.
Your mouth not let. Did you see this last week's game?
spit it out. Okay.
AJ Brown didn't like how
he was
Hurts was
pissed.
going to him.
Yeah.
So he took a
Well, you
hit
also
to
got to
it,
remember they
and after
played
that,
together, man. So
he was doing nothing.
it's almost guaranteed to happen.
Okay. Woo.
can I tell you, Deshaun Jackson is 37th all time in receiving yards. Guess who 38 is? He went by a number. Chet Johnson.
Oh, Ocho Cinco.
Oh.
That being said, let me address the chat. I was trying to stop you guys because everybody just kept rambling over each other. Calm down. Short takes. Give everybody breathe. Okay. Lions need to go at least 4-2 during the JMO suspension. I don't think so. I think if we're 3-3, we're in good shape.
Yeah, I'm okay with 3-3.
Anything less than that is bad.
Yep.
Does anybody disagree with that?
Hell no. We lose this Sunday, all hell's gonna break loose.
If we lose this Sunday, that doesn't mean we still can't go 3-3.
We're going to lose.
No, we're not. You can't. Don't do this, Dom. Don't.
I don't want to be right.
Don't do it.
I don't want to be right. I picked us to beat Kansas City. Picked us to lose to Seattle. I'm not crazy. I'm not overly pessimistic.
It sounds it. That's what I don't want it.
I have eyes and a brain.
I'm gonna say
guys, we have to be real too, dude. We have a lot of injuries. Like we have major injuries. We have injuries on the line. We have injuries on our running backs.
Injuries on the line.
Wait.
Injuries on the line. We have them every year.
Yeah.
Right.
Every year.
But this is
wait.
We got Decker out. Vitai's out.
We missed Decker for 8 games in 2021, and Sewell did just fine. He came back and then moved to the other side, and nothing missed a beat. Correct?
Yeah, but Matt Nelson's garbage,
Jeremy,
man.
what's the number?
I don't want Matt Nelson that
One out of 36.
1 for 36.
1 out of 36 games, we've had all 5 starters on the field.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about it. The O-line is not a problem at all.
Okay, what about Montgomery?
The offense is not the problem.
Montgomery may be an issue,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. We're probably going to see more.
That's a big loss.
It's not as big as you think. Wait, what has he done other than hype? What has he done other than hype?
I mean, he played the run well. I mean, he's a leader back there to help.
He played the run well, but he extended a drive into a touchdown by being stupid, so he really didn't help.
I mean,
I'm not wrong. Tracy Walker is a better tackler overall than CJGJ.
Let's hope he's back, man. I mean, he's coming off an Achilles too, and worried about these injuries on these players, man. Like shit, they're just lining up.
Nate, one thing, we have not seen anything in practice. Walker may be playing great in practice that we're not seeing. That's why the coaches are starting Walker. That's why the coaches are starting Walker.
Well, because they have no choice. Kirby's out. Freaking CJGJ's on IR.
They do have a choice. They could have easily brought up Brandon Joseph and threw him into the Wolves.
Oh, come on. They're not going to put him up.
But they didn't.
Walker. Come on, man. They're paying Walker a lot of money.
Yeah, and they're paid Romeo a lot of money to be a Pine Rider too.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's another knock on Halls because that's who re-signed him. Remember, we re-signed him and let Prater walk.
Well, he didn't know that Romeo was going to tear his Achilles.
I did. I called it. Ask Dom. I said, "You watch. He won't make it through 2 games."
Why are you jinxing our players?
No, I knew it because he did it before.
Because we haven't had a DN that's been good for more than 1 year since
Cliff Averill.
Ever.
Cliff Averill, yeah, you could say that.
Cliff Averill was good, man.
Ziggy was good when he was on the field too.
Yeah, Ziggy.
And Ritter has yet to win a game in the NFL on the road, and I don't want the Lions to be the first one down.
Hell no, man. We gotta win this game.
Then quit saying it. This is a must-win game for mental attitude.
Oh yeah, for the fan base too. Everybody's about to just jump off the ship.
Oh, they're already jumping off the ship. I can care less.
I
care less about the SOL fans. I really do. Because the SOL fans are the ones that would do it. Robert Poche, let's go back even further. Al Bubba Baker.
Yeah.
It's not that we can't beat the Falcons. I just don't think that we will.
I think Aaron Glenn has finally got his head out of his ass, realizing, well, maybe I should just use everybody. You know why we couldn't cover tight ends good? He was putting Houston in coverage and having Campbell rush.
No.
Yeah. That makes no sense.
That makes about as much sense as wiping your butt than taking the crap.
Oh my God.
Also, we might see Houston on the edge and pass rushers.
No. He's out for like 2 months to 8 weeks.
He's out for 8 weeks. He was put on the 8-week IR.
Mostly, yeah.
I didn't see anything on him on the IR.
It happened on the Monday after the game. How'd you not see that? I posted it.
Yeah.
You commented on it.
I'll say this about the Lions. Like, you got to play the young guys.
We got another guy in. Let's see who this is.
I mean, despite how we look like on defense, you got to play the young guys. You got to play Jack Moore. You got to play Dan.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
It's pretty bad that here I am, a writer/journalist that's just getting his feet wet, finally working on being credentialed to go to Lions games. And I call into 97, won the ticket, and gave my take. And they said, wow, look at you, advanced stats on what Behan does and tendencies and actually making sense. He goes, maybe they need you to be down in Detroit. That was Jeff Rieger. That was Jeff Rieger that say that.
Man, Bijan worries me, y'all. That guy's a dude. Our linebackers better be ready for that one.
He doesn't worry.
There's Donkey Kong, and he agrees with what I said there, Keegan. How could you be a Lions fan and not know about James Houston? That's awkward.
Yeah, come on, man. That's like breaking news.
That was breaking news Monday because it was CJGJ's out a minimum of 4 to 8 weeks.
It was like
James Houston, 4 to 8 weeks.
We lost CJGJ. We lost Houston. Yeah, it was like the sky was falling.
Hey, my head
right now is the one that me or you needs to replace in the post-game pressers. Because, he's an idiot. I said Rieger is the one that me or you needs to replace in the post-game pressers. Like, he's an idiot, but he does ask the tough questions.
Risden does too.
And he's got just enough pull to where they have to answer him.
Justin does too, Rogers.
Donkey Kong, I don't play too much Madden.
Oh, man.
You could say that. Wait, he hasn't even done 60 on any. He hasn't had a 60-yard run yet.
No.
His first week, Behan was awful. You can say what you want. He was awful.
Yeah.
Against us.
Yeah.
The thing that worries me is that Bijan tore up that Packers defense, and that Packers defense, as much as I hate the Packers with a.
And I explained this before you got on the show. If you'd listen,
yes,
they ran him to the right, which is Rashawn Gary's side at linebacker.
Yeah,
he is poor at tackling runners. They have a bad run defense. They have for 2 years straight now. Quay Walker kept him in check on the left side. So you put your best tacklers on the right side where the line is strong. You leave everybody else on the left side where the left tackles.
They have a good defense and they have good players,
But they have a horrible right side for run defense. That is where everybody has gashed the Packers for 19 games straight now.
Yeah, Packers run defense ain't that great. So.
And guess who plays right defensive end? The guy that's not getting a lot of pressure like they said he would, Lucas Van Ness.
Well, hopefully Aaron Glenn's listening so we can run to the right.
Yeah, we saw Week 18 Jamal running I can't remember.
Rampant.
He has elusiveness against guys that can't tackle in the run at Green Bay. He didn't have it week 1.
I'm just worried about this game, y'all, because
10 carries, 56 yards.
I want to win this game, but I am very worried that if we sustain any heavy injuries, we're going into a short week with the Green Bay Packers on the road. And that, let's be honest, that game very well.
And they're in a must-win situation with the Saints, and the Saints are 2-0.
Right.
Yeah, you shouldn't be scared of the Falcons.
Well, pick one of the two, because we're not winning them both.
I think
you want to beat the Falcons or the Packers?
You're winning.
They both matter, though.
They both matter. I think we can beat both teams.
Yeah.
Me too.
Jordan Love is nothing.
Well, then be prepared to lose to Carolina and or Tampa.
We're not losing to Carolina.
No.
If we beat both
teams, we got to stop doing this. If we beat this, we can't beat that. That has to stop. That mentality has to stop. Whether it's the team, whether it's the team or whether it's the fans, we have to stop this mentality.
Yeah.
You said 3-3, right?
I understand what you're saying, but we got to stop this mentality. The team that we're probably going to get beat by is the Bucs, because we go to their house, and they're on a high right now. And Baker Mayfield looks like the Baker Mayfield everybody wanted him to be.
Evans is tearing up to fucking teams right now, like he always does.
I don't know why we're even talking about losing. Just focus on the Falcons right now.
Exactly.
Hey, we need this. We need this from
morale. I'm not you see, James, that's what you're understanding. You're not understanding the fact that I'm not underestimating Bijan. I'm saying he's not as great as everybody says he is, because the NFL is better than they are in college.
Yes.
Well, but he tore it up in college. That's what they're basing it on.
Hey,
I know. And that's exactly what I'm saying. The NFL is not college. He's not going to get 100 yards every damn week.
But his cuts and his first step.
I understand that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's different in the NFL than what it was in college, because we've seen guys that were great in college and be ass in pros. No. Ron Dane.
Example. Ohio State quarterback.
I
don't think Bijan's going to fall into that category. I think Bijan's going to be a pretty damn good running back. But I'm also worried about Algier. Did you talk about Algier? Because I think that's a very underrated.
Algier, I'm more scared of Algier than I am Bijan.
Yeah, he's a hammer, dude. That's a big dude.
Yeah.
I'm not
gonna lie. I'm more scared of Bijan and Algier than I was Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because Bijan can do it in the passing game too.
But our run defense has looked a lot better.
Our run defense was even good against Seattle.
But our pass rush has looked a lot worse.
It has.
And
as far as getting home.
No, period. Let's talk about that. Let's bring it up right now. This is why I think Aaron Glenn is the next Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
Lions pass rush through 2 weeks. 1 sack, 30th in the NFL. Tied with 31 and 32, which is the Bears and the Vikings. 10% pressure percentage, 26th in the NFL. Behind the Vikings. 1.1% hurry percentage, 28th. The only teams worse than us, the Vikings, the Bears. Who's the other 0-2 team? The Panthers.
Yeah.
And blitz rate, 31st. The only team worse than our blitz rate is the Bears. That's it.
Jeremy, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the reason why he doesn't blitz as much is because he doesn't trust the cornerbacks on an island?
I don't care. What helps an average secondary? We've said this for years. A pass rush.
Pass rush.
Yes.
One thing.
And that is one thing we've all said this offseason. Aaron Glenn has to be salivating at the blitz packages he can put together, and he's not doing it. Because a blitz is 5 or more guys. We had 5 D linemen, and one of them dropped in coverage last week.
Who was that?
Wait, pull that stat back up real quick.
Who was that D lineman that pulled up that played in coverage?
So
who do you think it was? It was James Houston.
Oh, he's not a D lineman.
26 in pressure percentage.
He's a D lineman. That's all he's good at.
Doesn't Hutch lead the league in pressures?
Yep. At 26, you want to know what our pressure? We want to know what our pressure number is. Hutch has 13 of them. It's 18. You know who has the other 5? James Houston against Kansas City.
Yeah.
So literally, yeah, the invisible men of Aquara,
Harris.
That's one of those guys has to step up.
Yep.
Just do anything.
Just like Reynolds stepped up. You know, when Marvin went AWOL or decided to disappear, somebody's got to step up. Us outside of those dudes.
Wait, Patty Grimes said Aaron Glenn overrated.
Yes.
Who's got him rated that high for him?
Everybody in the NFL that was talking about us saying they got a great defensive coordinator in Aaron Glenn.
It was the defense that he coached in the Saints that
Aaron Glenn is nowhere near great. He's not even that good.
Yeah, it was the defense he had, the players he had in the Saints that made him look good.
He wasn't a defensive coordinator, though. All he was the defensive backs coach.
Well, but look what he had. He had
This is what I
Marshawn
was
Lattimore.
saying. I'm sure you guys have heard it. Aaron Glenn should still be a position coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
One thing is, after those past 2 weeks, Aaron Glenn came out and said, that's on him, not his players. Have you heard anything of Patricia? He didn't blame the players. He didn't say a thing.
Patricia blamed everybody else for
Of course, he's not going to throw his players under the bus.
Okay, wait. Aaron Glenn did get a coaching interview, and I was praying he'd take the job.
He wasn't going to get the job. Come on.
No, they called him back for the second interview, and he turned it down. Second interview, you get the job 89% of the time.
I don't think they were going to hire him, but, I mean, yeah, you might be right.
He turned it down, just like Ben Johnson turned down the Panthers.
Yeah.
Fuck Aaron Glenn.
Well, that's all we have right now. I mean,
I know, but still, fuck him.
I'll say
let's
that
go.
whoever.
Let's go over. Wait, let's look at it this way. 2020, we were the 32nd defense in the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
We stripped it to the studs. We had a bad defense. We were 30th in scoring. We were 30th in QBR against. We were 23rd in passing, 17th in rushing yards per carry, 28th in rushing defense, and 29th for total yards in the NFL. Let's go to 2021-22. Better players overall on defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
32nd overall in yardage, 392.4 yards, up 18 yards from the year before. 29th in rushing against, 146.5. That was 11.4 yards better than next year. 5.2 yards per carry. 31st in the NFL. You know who was 32nd? The Vikings.
Let me ask you a question, Jeremy.
21st in passing against at 245.8 yards, which was up a whole yard, 0.1 from the year before. 25th in QBR at a 94.2. 30th in scoring at 25.1.
Let me throw something out there to you, Jeremy. So you say it's the scheme, right? It's not really the players as much.
I say it's the coaching, yes.
Okay. So look at the Viking situation. B. Flores is a damn good defensive coordinator. And the Vikings are still terrible on defense.
Because they got rid of every talented player.
I get that. So maybe it's the players. Maybe the reality is that yes, it is falls on coaching.
No, this falls 100% on coaching because we have said over and over this year there is no reason why we shouldn't make that jump to the low team.
Paper, yes.
No, with the talent level that is on this team and what they got, there is no reason why there shouldn't have been a 10 position rank jump with this defense.
I agree.
Well, it's only 2 games, so I mean, maybe 10. Halfway through it.
We did improve greatly, we went from 29th to 10th in run defense. Why? Because the talent is there on the D-line. They're making a difference in the run game. They're not making a difference in the passing game, and we said that's the most improved room. Why? Because they're not getting pressure.
Yep.
Yeah.
It all boils down to he refuses to blitz.
It's Jekyll and Hyde.
Well, and then
pass rush is supposed to be our thing.
Does some of that go to John Scott Jr.?
Yes.
They let Todd Wash go, and they hired a Aaron Glenn yes man.
And also too, Dan Campbell said in his press conference they're not winning their one-on-ones. So the players are not winning their one-on-ones.
They haven't been one-on-one yet is my problem.
No, there's been some. If Aiden's getting held and doubled, somebody's getting one-on-ones.
But
what I'm saying is, if they got a tight end and a running back helping the tackle, right? That means there's 4 other guys there. If you're not blitzing 5 guys, you're only blitzing 4, which means that's 4 guys on 3.
Mm-hmm.
But literally, outside of Hutchinson, we think, and it's only based off 1 year, like, how many of the other 10 guys that start are really even that good? Like, we don't have elite talent.
No, we said we were better because they're all about the same talent and the depth of it. That's what we said. They're all about the same talent. They're all rotational, but it's about the same talent depth from top to bottom.
Well, let's go. Well, he brings a good point because let's go down the roster real quick on the defensive side. Outside of Aiden, maybe Jack, who maybe Kerby, who's really gonna be a pillar for that defense.
Cam Sutton has been so far.
Yeah, Sutton. Yeah, I like Sutton, but he's a vet.
Anzalone.
Wow.
As much as I hate to say it, Anzalone's been balling out.
I would say Barnes.
Barnes is balling out.
Too.
He's been our highest rated player on the defense both games.
And that's probably
he's like number 3 amongst all linebackers.
Number 5 overall MPFF.
Yeah, Barnes took a step up. He took it seriously.
You know when he took the step up? He got his shot when Rodrigo hurt his arm and had to miss 2 games. He took over that starting role, and he said, fuck you, you're not getting it back.
I love Rodrigo, man, but yeah, you're right. Rodrigo just doesn't have the highest ceiling. He's just he is what he is.
He hit his ceiling starting last year.
But damn, he's tough as nails. I love that.
And he is tough.
Yeah.
He is tough. Don't get me wrong. I love Rodrigo.
Great story. And a starting linebacker in his rookie year on a team with the worst linebackers in the NFL. So bad that they finally admitted, damn, we don't even have 3 worth starting.
Right.
Let's go.
Well, you knew when they drafted Jack, you knew that Rodrigo, we've seen enough of Rodrigo. He's going to get back up.
I really love the potential of Brian Branch, though.
Yeah.
Brian Branch.
Yeah.
He's a pillar.
Branch is an animal.
So we've named about 5 or 6 players out of 11. So that means the other ones are all just role players or maybe players that we might keep.
Yeah, pretty much. And we said that. But guess what? By having 5 players that we just named that are starters, and Aline is a good starter, he's got no one next to him. You give him someone next to him that can help him open that middle up, it's going to be a different game.
You know what? I'm going to say Gardner Johnson just as a locker room leader. He's a good pillar at a locker room leader.
Oh.
I mean, he had 6 sacks. He had 6 interceptions the last year, dude. I mean, he can make plays.
Yeah, I'm just saying right now, because now that he's out, he's a good presence in the locker room.
Who?
Oh, yeah, he'll motivate him.
Who's that?
Gardner Johnson.
Gardner. CJ.
You know he's going to be around. He's just
hurt.
hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be good locker room presence.
No, he'll be chirping.
We'll take part of the blame for him. Because a week before he got hurt, I said number of games played should factor in to his contract negotiation.
And with him going to miss 8 games minimum with a torn pec, guess what? It's not going to be many games.
Yep.
At that point,
he may walk.
With a torn pec, that's damaged goods. There's a reason why Nakobe Dean is actually on the trade block for the Eagles.
Even though he's on IR?
Well, he was on the trade block before he hit IR.
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to scoop.
You know what? Big Dan's going to like this reference. Cody Rhodes tore his pec and was out for a year. How long will it take TJ Gardner-Johnson? We don't know.
He's younger.
And he's not
usually
the torn pec, if it doesn't require surgery, is 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
Cody Rhodes is back before a year. WWE, that wrestling shit, they exaggerate stuff though. So,
yeah.
Patty, I'll do it.
So let me ask y'all let me ask y'all a question. Do you think that the Lions will ever have a top 10 to top 15 defense? Or do you think we're just going to have to double down on the offense and just become high-powered and score all?
They have the potential to be top 10. I think they can do it eventually.
They're working on it.
They're working on it. And if it was coached to its potential, it would be there right now because of what we're doing in the run game. It's way different. And that's because the players aren't giving up. The players have bought in and they're playing as hard as they can. But if the scheme is not working for the players, they can't do too much.
Yeah, like we've got the talent. It's just our DC isn't very good. So.
Yep. I agree.
Kind of like the Mike McCarthy when he was when he's the head coach of the Lame Duck, and finally they put him as the play caller.
Yeah.
And Jeff Risdon, who is very close to the Lions and is always at Allen Park, he actually said it in the presser as one of his questions. It's coming perilously close where you got that decision of getting rid of a friend and a longtime colleague to save your job.
Yeah.
When did he say that?
I showed it in the chat. I put it up there.
Yeah, but during what?
I don't remember which presser it was, but it was a quote that somebody put into the meme showing DC and Aaron Glenn sitting together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he didn't say anything.
The only one that can save Aaron Glenn
is Aaron Glenn.
He would have got pissed.
One thing I want to say is, what if Aaron Glenn turns things around and we have a great defense the rest of the season?
That's fine. That's what he needs to do to keep his job.
Yep.
I'm saying to keep his job, that's what he has to do. Right now, we already got rid of one guy, and the defense improved, but it was bad timing. Because now let's say we got rid of him 2 weeks before that, and those guys didn't come back, and the defense improved. You know what I'm saying? But right there, we had 5 defensive players come off of IR because of the bye week right after we fired Pleasant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn needs to find something that works, and when he finds it, he needs to stick with it. And then when what he found that works stops working a little bit, he needs to learn to make adjustments. If he does those 2 things, then I'll get off his ass. But
right. Week 1, it was fantastic. They were being tipped when the passing plays was. So what'd they do? They dialed back because they were giving Patrick Mahomes fits and blitzing more that first week, if you remember right, in that first half. In the second half, they said, screw it, we're not blitzing at all. We're just going to drop everybody in a soft zone coverage because these guys aren't catching the ball.
And Dan Campbell also alluded to in his press conference that they really want to contain the quarterback. That's their main concern on the defense, at least from the D-line's perspective. They want to close the pocket and keep that quarterback in the pocket. But
then why did they let Geno run for 30 yards?
Well, because you see when they over pursue, Geno just steps up and runs. The linebackers are nowhere to be found because they're covering. So yeah,
and because the interior D line up against those bigger interior O linemen are getting pushed right aside, Geno can run up the middle. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. If you're not stunting, so one of those D tackles, even though they're smaller, is taking up a guard and a center when the other one takes up a guard, that way a linebacker can actually hit Geno in the middle. That's the only way that would have worked. But they're not stunting.
He only had 20 rushing yards.
Whatever. They were, when he carried it, it was effective. That's what I'm getting at.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think you kind of need do y'all I mean I know y'all watch a lot of football. Do y'all see how they use Micah Parsons? Like how they kind of hide him behind the D line, and then he kind of pops up and then rushes right at the quarterback a lot of times in the interior. I think Glenn needs to use Aiden more in that aspect because
we did last season. If you remember when Comiskey came back and Houston started showing up on the other side, Aiden was being moved all over the place. We used him exactly like that, and he's not doing it this year.
We also dropped Aiden in the coverage too.
And what is John Fox here for? I have no clue. I never liked John Fox as a coach, defensive head
never
coach.
Liked him
either. He's just somebody to offer.
He's just a name as far as I am. He's a Jag name, just a guy name.
We need to hire a real defensive line coach.
Yes.
Do you remember Chris Kasurik? I love that dude. That guy was a dude.
Yep, and Gino made time by moving side to side because no one was hitting home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just put Broderick Martin as DC. Yeah, that isn't going to happen. And it isn't spelled like Broderick, like Matthew Broderick. It's Brodric. Broderick,
Yeah.
not Broderick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a lot of question marks in that defense.
The biggest question mark to me starts with the coaching.
Yep.
Well, it all starts with the coaching in general, because if your defense is not good, the finger should be pointed at the coach first and foremost.
Yep.
And I
100%.
said, because Walker was back and healthy and he actually didn't look bad in the preseason, we should have left it as Walker and Joseph had CJ, GJ, and Branch playing the 2 in the nickel, switching back and forth on whoever's there, because they were our best coverage DBs all preseason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Where the hell was Jack Campbell against those Seattle tight ends? Oh, he was rushing the passer.
He was rushing the passer while they put James Houston in coverage.
We need to put Campbell more back in the coverage rather than rushing.
Campbell should be whenever they move London inside to the slot or whenever they have Pitts split out. Because if Pitts is split out, he's a receiving option. Granted, he might not go his way because he hasn't been great. He hasn't been great all year. And you guys can say, oh, he did great. He had 3 catches for 20 yards. You know what he was?
Yep.
He was Travis Kelce with more targets. He had 11 targets and 3 catches. You know what he is? He's Eric Ebron with the Julio Jones disease. At least Eric Ebron, if you throw it to him 49 times in the end zone, he'll catch 13 of them.
I mean, he hasn't lived up to his potential that he was in college. I mean, he was coming out of college. He was projected to be like one of the best tight ends in a really long time.
He struggled to get in the end zone even at Florida.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what he was? He was Roy Williams in a tight end's body. I'll get you that first down, coach. Don't give it to me in the end zone. I'll drop it.
Well, still getting downs. I mean, they got other options to go to. I mean,
because he's allergic to it. He breaks out in hives. His hands swell up. He can't catch anything.
Exactly.
Do you think, like, if, like, let's say, because I guarantee you the game plan going into for the Falcons is
Kyle Pitts had 12 touchdown catches on 43 receptions.
When? In college?
His last year at Florida.
Oh,
wow.
So he had 1 year. He had 1 year where he had double digits. So that's better than Julio Jones.
Wow, 12.
But since he's been in the NFL, he's been Julio Jones in a tight end's body.
Yep.
I want to see Laporta more this game.
I think we all do.
Laporta's been very effective with how they've used him.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to continue to use him in that sense. And as it goes on, and as other players fail to do their jobs at receiving, he'll get more catches because they'll target him more.
Blood in him a little bit.
Well, they're all Iowa tight ends.
Yeah, but I just say the way he kind of runs he's got a Kittle kind of feel to it.
I don't want to compare him to Kittle. I don't want to.
to.
Here we go. I'm going to say why. I don't want to compare him to Kittle. I don't want to compare him to Hawkinson. You want to know why? Because both of them miss too many games per season.
Hey, one thing
but I'm just saying the way he plays with a violence.
Don't say it. Don't put that curse on.
I don't want to. You compare him to an injury-prone player. I don't want him to be injured.
Compare him to Noah Fant.
Nope.
People were comparing Hawkinson and Kittle.
And here's the thing: Kittle is the best one out of those 4 we just mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kittle was what, 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Teams need to stop looking for the next whoever.
Travis Kelce was what, a 2nd round pick, 3rd round pick?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they run more that they want to spread the ball out. They want those those hybrid athlete receivers / tight ends.
I just want to see us get back to some fundamentally sound defense.
If
we have to,
I agree.
If we have to, tell Aaron Glenn, unplug his mic inside the headphone piece so he doesn't know, and let the players call their own goddamn plays.
Yes.
Well,
Jeremy, like this doom and gloom on the defense is definitely warranted. But I'll tell you what, man. Here's the reality: is that the defense got to stop when they need to get a stop, and our offense played to lose. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what the coaches say. We played to lose the game, and that's what cost us that win.
It's not doom and gloom, though. It's just what the hell's going on.
It's
We
reality.
don't understand this defense. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Has one sack.
And here's the guy.
And the run defense
here's the guy.
Top 10.
Here's the guy I want to see come in next season or even mid-season if we can get him away from him. You know what I want? I want Phil Parker of Iowa. You want to know why? Because they have a horrible offense, and that defense wins them games.
We're not smart enough.
How about anybody on the
go
Dallas
out to the
Cowboys
box ever.
defense? Maybe the D-line coach. I take the D-line coach as the D coordinator. At least you know the D-line would be better.
Cowboys
Rod
trade
Moranelli
Cowboy name.
again.
It's Ron? Oh, man. I thought it was somebody.
It's Rod Moranelli.
Hey, he's a better D-line coach than he was a head coach, man.
Yeah,
Shit.
I don't want him anywhere near Detroit
He
ever
gets a bunch
again.
of nobodies to
I don't want that. I don't want that 0-16 Juju back in this building.
Yeah, I get it.
If we
Hey, come on now. Their picks are sharp and their will is outstanding.
if we move on from Aaron Glenn, when are we expecting it? Mid-season or after the season?
I hope it's if we lose this game, I hope it's after this game.
So
I'm gonna say
Not
hope
because
it's
the
after
wheels
the
are falling
season.
off. Yeah.
So if they move on from Aaron Glenn after this game or mid-season, chances are they're going to promote someone on the staff, like a Calvin Shepard or somebody.
I like to see Shep. See what he could do.
Shep or Bly.
Shep. I like Shep, man.
Yeah, JMO has no. Anybody who's going to label JMO a bust, I don't agree with you.
You're wrong.
It's too early.
Yeah.
It's too early.
He's played in 6 games. He's played a total of 10 snaps. He should have had 3 touchdowns and 1 41-yard run, but 3 of those plays were negated by penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's a wait and see.
Yeah.
It's wait and see. We don't know what you're going to get on the field.
But we do know that even if he's not getting the ball at the decoy, he's gonna take the top off that defense with that speed.
Yeah,
and he's gonna give us a different threat.
Just that speed being on the field opens up everybody else underneath.
100%.
Because they're gonna because whether he's good at catching the ball or not,
they got to worry about his.
We're gonna see 2013 Josh Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
We hope.
No, think about it. That would be great because that's exactly what Josh Gordon was. Is what we expected JMO to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
That year, he came off that 4-game suspension and lit the world on fire. I think he had 1,200 yards receiving that year, didn't he?
Yep.
Well, he missed 2 games, but try 1,646 to lead the league.
Jeremy,
on a bad Browns team, but if you lead the league in receiving, you lead the league in receiving. I don't care how bad your team is.
I agree, James.
James.
Great unknown.
Jeremy, did we talk about Gibbs at all? Because I think that
I think Gibbs is going to take on a bigger role in the running game than everybody thinks. With David Montgomery being out, Bam McKnight and Reynolds are going to split the carries outside of whatever JMO does or Jameer does. That's just what I expect. If they're not going to do that and they're going to use Bam McKnight and Reynolds more, that means we're going to see Jameer more at receiving. Period.
Yes.
It with me.
Waiting for that.
I thought to say, if Jameer's in the receiving, we'll see Bam Knight in the backfield.
He's a Swiss Army knife.
I'm just happy that Bugs is finally in for this game.
Yeah.
I said that too, and I want to see Martin play. I want this to be the game where Martin is not a healthy scratch because we're going to need him. Because then we could actually have 3 D tackles and 2 DNs on the field for these running plays.
Did we ever figure out why Bugs got benched in the first place? It's just because he got beat out?
We don't know.
All I know is that when he found out that Levi got the starting job, he went to Twitter and posted how upset he was.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And, MCDC is all about keeping shit close to the vest and in-house. He don't go for that.
I'm good with that, man.
He likes to keep it old school.
I think that was 2 weeks of punishment for him until he could learn to keep his mouth shut.
Exactly.
Don't go online. He's old school. Don't go
It was
online.
It was a quiet punishment.
And you know what, Keegan? What you were about to say? No one should do that. Oh, I got benched. Oh, boo-hoo.
Nobody should be above reproach.
That's right.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, guess what, dude? You weren't the original plan.
Exactly.
No.
Nope.
And he got upset because he got re-signed to an okay contract.
That's
And
because
he
he's
thought,
an okay player.
and he was an okay player, and he thought for sure, all right, I get to start. Well, Levi outplayed you this preseason, so he got the start. But Levi's hurt. Next man up. It has to be Bugs because Benito Jones ain't it.
Yes.
Yep.
I like to see Benito as a healthy scratch.
I want to see Benito and Jacobs as a healthy scratch.
Yep.
That's just me. I think Jacobs. I think Jacobs
short,
needs a mental break.
I think he'll have a very short leash with Aaron Glenn. So if they start targeting him and he gets burned, I think they'll bring in probably Chase Lucas.
I was saying that after the Kansas City game because guess who was giving up all the catches in the first half in the Kansas City game?
Jerry.
Yep.
Will, you're cute.
Yeah, Jerry Jacobs, even in the game we won against Kansas City, was giving up.
Jordan, I saw that. I heard about that. Thanks, Jordan.
So,
but I put that on Campbell and Aaron Glenn because if you were trying to count on Mosley to be healthy, and then your third corner was Jerry Jacobs, like, come on.
I don't know why our third corner wasn't Stephen Gilmore, who outplayed Jacobs all preseason.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I think his chance is coming soon.
If Jerry Jacobs continues to shit the bed
and here's the other thing. Bug screwed himself. He skipped a meeting for unspecified family reasons, a.k.a. playing Baldur's Gate 3 and throwing down some beers. And then he went public griping that MCDC was pissed about it.
Well, no shit, he's pissed about it. You can't miss meetings. Come on.
One thing. Bugs went to social media and cried about it.
Right. I said that.
Our coaching staff doesn't want anything to do with social media. They just want him to accept it and accept that he got benched and don't go cry about it on social media.
And Rodney Fauch backs me up. That Gilmore kid was playing better and better every week in the preseason.
He's a freak.
He's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. Yeah. He can take the ball away. Jerry Jacobs can't.
And think about it. If we let Gilmore start playing in a starting role, whether it be at the nickel or whether it be at CB2 because of the injuries, you know who might see this as a landing spot? Who's a great zone corner that we could use next year? He's got a 1-year contract where he's at right now. His brother.
Stephon?
Stephon Gilmore.
No.
But he's gonna be a factor now that his brother that the Diggs is out. So he's
I think Stephon retires.
I think he's
talking about. I hope so.
We're not talking about Diggs. We're talking about Stephon Gilmore, Nate.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know, but I'm saying that now that Diggs is out, Stephon's gonna be trying to get money now because he knows he's gonna be more valuable.
Oh, not bad. I thought someone said Diggs.
Well, I said Diggs because Diggs went out.
Diggs is out for the year.
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore is the most overrated cornerback in NFL history.
I don't know about that.
I think it's Jalen Ramsey still.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still do.
Come on.
No, I still do. He's a one trick.
Jalen Ramsey is Gilmore's wet dream.
Jalen Ramsey is a one-trick pony. If you put him in the other type of defense, he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Gilmore is above average at both and excels at zone.
Jeremy, let me ask you a question. Do you think that we might make a midseason trade for a D-tackle if we still struggle?
If we're struggling to get pressure through the interior with everybody, if they've used everybody in the rotation and it's not happening, then yes, I agree that they might do something like that. That or we go to free agency and pick up Sue.
Yeah.
Go get Wilkins from Miami.
Good luck getting him from Miami.
I know. He didn't get a contract extension, so he's looking for.
I'm a Clemson fan, and I think he's staying with.
Okay, I'm going to go back to something that we talked to way back when we were talking about trade deadline. I think Tracy Walker is not getting traded now.
No, can't trade him.
Can't.
Nope.
We can't trade him.
Can't.
You can't trade him. He is
Yeah.
the tackling version of CJGJ.
Yeah, the only guys that I think will be willing to trade is Romeo, and that's about it.
Yeah,
He's not
because
even
You
Julian,
know what? If
Julian's
he ends up with some trade value, awesome.
You don't get anything for it, but a sack of potatoes.
Seventh
maybe
round pick, I'll take it.
we will get a half-eaten snack-sized can of Pringles and a half-drank bottle of Dasani water
Right.
Sounds good.
At this point,
with backwash.
can't afford to trade Romeo.
Right. No,
Here's a-
because his dead cap is higher than since he restructured, his dead cap is 3 times as much as his salary. He restructured that $11.5 million cap hit down to $2 million this year.
So there's two guys.
Oh, Romeo
There's-
and Julian.
There's two guys. That,
Romeo's hurt till when?
Thought Julian was already gone.
He's
Julian's on the IR.
Okay.
But
told
I
you
saw
that.
that the Giants were interested, so
For who?
Julian.
Yeah, they were until he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have traded him right after that game because they were offering us some good shit.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, after the preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They were immediately on the phone. We need him. Why? Because he looked better than Thibs. And on accident, he was.
Excuse you.
That was healthy, Dan. Nice vibrato. Tone's a little low. I give it a 6.
Right.
Oh man.
Romeo and his brother
Wow.
for a fifth of crown with the purple bag. Final offer. Amen.
Sounds good to me.
Just anything.
It's got to be the half-gallon size, though. I'm not taking a fifth.
Right. I don't really
So
like
are we doing
Crown.
score predictions, Jeremy?
No, I really don't want to do a score prediction thing because I'm all over the board with this mentally right now.
yeah. It's
I think it's either going to be really close or the Lions blow them out.
let's go with the blowout. We need a blowout, man. The fans deserve one.
Aaron Glenn
Yeah.
pulls his head out of his ass. We end up with 3 sacks this game, 2 from Hutch and 1
All
from
is good in
Lee.
Lion Land.
All is good in Lion Land. Ritter throws 18 picks.
You're a funny
Aiden
man,
gets 8
Jeremy.
Always seem to go to Braves.
Tender branch.
I'm trying to be funny here. I'm
Aiden
trying to be
gets
funny.
8
But no,
sacks.
I mean, if it does go right and this talent gels together that we do have and they use it properly, it should be like a 31-14 victory.
That's what I thought I was gonna.
Well,
I said if they do everything right and they use it like they should, it should be a 31
How
to
about not
14
turn
victory.
the damn ball
But you
over?
want to know what the
How about-
realistic thing is? It'll be 21-17.
How about not turn the damn ball over? Let's do that. Let's start there.
You can't say that because turnovers happen for every goddamn team every now
Well,
and
don't
then.
turn over the
We've
ball
been
36
blessed.
times and not get one.
We
We were
Be
we
blessed.
just
realistic,
look bad
mate.
because
Be
Goff
realistic,
ended the
mate.
streak with a pick 6 in the fourth quarter.
Hey, you got to be realistic.
I mean, if you
Monty
keep the
fumbled,
turnover
but-
margin, usually you lose the games. That's just facts.
I no shit. I mean that's no brainer. That's no brainer. But you know what? Turnovers are going to happen. We never saw Jamal Williams fumble to the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, what the hell, man? Those players that never fumble, they fumble for us. Marvin never fumbled, then he fumbled. What the hell, man?
Oh, man.
So, you think turnovers is a problem? Golf threw his first
Vegas says
interception
it's
in a
okay.
while.
That pick 6 was huge, man. Like, that was a huge one. And the fumble by Montgomery.
That's
Those-
But
only
if this,
one.
wait, let's roll it back though. If the defense would have stopped them the drive before that pick 6 means nothing.
Yes.
If we wouldn't have went for it in field goal range, and that was right at Patterson's accurate field goal range, that was turned into a touchdown. There's 7 points we can't get back,
Complimentary
and
football,
take away that 3. That's actually a 10-point swing, is what that is.
Yeah, it's complimentary football.
Easily.
So,
Well,
And if we
I mean, you
pick,
can't
if
say
we
it's 7.
no, they
but
got a
at
touchdown
least
off
it
of that
would've been
drive.
3.
No, I'm saying not go for the 4th down, kick the field goal, get the 3. They
Right.
got a touchdown on the drive because we failed to get the 4th down.
The re-
That's 10 points.
yeah.
The 3 we didn't go for and the touchdown they
the
got.
10-point swing.
The
That's a
reality
10-point
is
swing.
when we can play complimentary football, this team is going to go far. Let's just be.
Yeah.
And when we were on the 45 and they were debating on going for it, I wish they'd have did exactly what they did in the KC game. Try to draw him offsides, take the penalty, go 5 yards back, and have Jack Fox pin him in the 5.
Yeah.
That's what we should have did.
You've got one of the 3 best punters in the league.
He never gets
that you paid to be one of the 3 best punters in the league.
How about 3 of the highest, one of the highest paid punters too? Shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you said best.
This,
yeah, you want to know
what's
what's bad
about
about
it? Saying about Dan Campbell not being a good X's and O's coach.
He's just too aggressive on 4th down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that's the 3rd year in a row he's done it. Pete Carroll's out coach MCDC. We've played him all 3 years.
Pete Carroll's a G, man. He's a G.
Okay.
That being said, give kudos to their O-line coach.
Yep.
Yeah, the hell of a
Pete Carroll ran the fuck away from USC.
So sometimes a team just has your number. It is what it is. So,
yeah.
And Aaron Glenn has been the DC for all 3 games, and it's 142 points scored.
Well, we better win the fucking division, because if it comes down to a playoff spot and Seattle is ahead of us and they win the tiebreaker again, that's gonna suck.
Aaron Glenn
Don't put this bad juju on us.
I'm just being real.
Aaron Glenn needs to be the next head that rolls for our defense to get better.
Honestly, I love to see the Chargers make the mistake and sign Glenn to a head coach.
No, that'd be just as smart. With who they're getting rid of. They're going to go offensive. You know what? They're getting Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Damn, the Ravens.
It's either the Chargers or, as much as I hate to say it, Arizona, who likes to spend stupid money.
And there goes Jared Goff.
And if Cardinals get him, they're trading for Goff.
Because Chicago is going to trade for Kyler Murray.
Oh, the worst version of
picks they get from Carolina.
Wait, okay, let's go. Let's think about that for a minute. So they got the wish version of Lamar Jackson. They're going to go for the wish version of Justin Fields.
Oh man!
Isn't the wish?
Dang, time's flying by tonight.
Wish version of Fields is Cal McCord. Hey, honestly, when Jeremy said the transition between NFL, college and NFL, I said, look at Ohio State quarterbacks.
Easily.
I can't blame Justin Fields.
Yes,
it's a shitty team, man.
He's a shitty team with shitty coaches and a shitty scheme.
But
the fact that he can't read a defense.
It's an
NFL
team.
That's what you can blame Fields on. He cannot read a defense.
It's an NFL team.
And they haven't surrounded him with anything really until now with more. But that's
you can't read a defense.
It's an NFL team that's been around for forever. Never had a good quarterback.
Never.
And then they said, "Hey, let's give up draft picks to draft a quarterback from a college that's never put out a good quarterback."
You would have think they would have learned after Trubisky, but I guess
I want to give a big round of applause for somebody proving to me exactly what I said this offseason, and Dom said I don't see it. C.J. Stroud has already proven he's the better quarterback than Fields. He's thrown for 300 yards in a game.
Oh yeah. You saw it in college. CJ was more of a thrower than
300-yard games in 2 tries. 1. Yep. Justin Fields in 29 tries.
None.
0.
Listen, I'm telling y'all, coming into the NFL, if you
That's funny. That was funny. Justin Fields cannot even pass a joint to an octopus.
I'm telling y'all, man, in college, coming from college to the NFL, you have got to be able to throw from the pocket, period. Yeah. If you cannot throw from the pocket, you cannot be an NFL quarterback. I don't care how fast you are. I don't care how elusive you are. If you cannot throw from the pocket and read progressions, you are not going to be an NFL quarterback.
You know who the best Ohio State quarterback in the NFL was ever?
J.T. Barrett?
No, Terrell Pryor. Because he had 1,000 yards receiving. Different position.
Art Schuster, isn't that the other one that was okay?
Oh, Schleister, the gambling
Schleister,
addict. He won 3 or 4 arena football titles for the Detroit Drive.
So how are we feeling, y'all, about this game? Let's be real. Let's talk. Let's have a talk here.
I said where I'm at. We're either going to win big or we're going to lose it close. There is no in between. There's no in between.
Yep.
That's what I see happening because our offense can run with anybody.
If we can shut down their run, which I think we have a good chance at doing, I think we're winning this game because I am not afraid of Desmond Ritter's arm.
No one is. No one should.
Keep that guy in the pocket and make him beat you.
Well, it's not hard to keep him in the pocket. He's scared to get hit.
Behind Pitts and London, who do the Falcons have?
Calvin.
Matt Collins.
Three Jags, just the guys.
Yep. Oh man.
Coverage London and Pitts, and let Ritter throw.
I just can't expect Glenn to do something he's never done, which is have somebody cover a tight end effectively.
Well, don't forget Kyle Pitts is anemic to the red zone also.
Allergic.
Yep, you've said.
Yes.
Anyway.
Wow.
Hasn't scored a red zone TD.
We've been on for a while.
Hey, it's been a great night. It's getting late. I do have to work in the morning. I want to say thank you to everybody watching. Do you have any parting shots there, Keegan? What's your score prediction? Go.
I'm going to say I think Glad pulls his head out of the keister. It's going to be a defensive game. I'm going to say 21-17. Or 21-14.
Okay. Will?
24-14.
Dom?
21-17 Falcons.
Nate?
You know what? Fuck it. Restore the war. 40-14. Lions. Let's go. It ain't going to be close, man.
Big Dan?
Lions win 27-24.
I'm going to stick with what I said. If everything goes right, I'm doing that score. 31-14.
I would have said that, but you took it. You said it already, so I went up. I said 40. I think you put a 40 burger on them. Let's go.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, you remember, we don't know who the cornerback 2 is because Jeff Okuda's hurt again.
Yep.
Shocker!
And if he's throwing at him the whole time.
I think he might play this week.
Oh, is this the week he might get to play? Oh, so we're going to score 50. Amon Ra's going to torch. Amon Ra torches Okuda all day.
Anyway.
Or it's a Jeff Okuda redemption party.
Shut up. Don't go there.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
want Jeff Okuda to be sweet.
I want him to be
Next
sweet too
week.
after this game. There we go.
Next week.
Dude, that's his old team. You know, he's going to be a little heated. Maybe I'll have a couple of sacks. Let's go.
He can be sweet, just not against us.
Exactly.
I want to see
anyway
Terrell on Amon Ra and let Josh Reynolds just cook on Okuda.
I want to see Terrell and Amon Ra. Terrell is really good.
You can't say we didn't tackle anybody. We forced 3 punts.
Yep, exactly.
Last week. That's something we didn't do the year before.
Yep. I agree with Jeremy. It's got to be in late.
Oh, man. I missed out on Neil Green. Oh, well. That being said, Neil, I'm sorry I didn't get that out to you. I didn't see your message because once I'm on here, I kind of focus on that. I want to look and just see offensive snaps and how many tackles the Lions had because he said nobody tackled. I know that's not the case.
Yep. Sorry. Splinter from
I just gotta. Now I gotta back it up here. First, let's go to team stats before I go to player stats. Total plays 67 on offense for the Seahawks, right? Mm-hmm. So let's go to Lions, and then I'll go to defense, and I'll add up how many tackles we had. 7, 13, 25, 30. 38, 41, 45, 47, 46, 48 tackles out of 64. So they had 18 plays. 18 plays they did not get tackled on.
Wow.
Quick question, Jeremy. What are you on looking at that?
I just looked at the box score on Google.
Oh, Google. I'll say ESPN. If you just go all the way down, it shows totals.
I know. I just added it up myself.
Jeremy's better.
And this doofus is still counting. You know what?
Josh, who?
You don't like how I do things, Mark? Then fine. I don't care. You know, I hate when I had to add it up. I didn't look on a box score on one of those things. I did it myself in my head.
Yeah, which is okay. I was just letting you know you could have.
Yeah.
Because I don't need a calculator.
Before Common Core math.
He does mental math.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was I right, though? It said 48 tackles?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Boom.
He probably passed math. I'm like, oh.
Who's Burgess talking about? Okuda going to be Josh Jacobs. Oh, Jerry Jacobs? Wait, what?
Someone.
What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell?
Josh who?
Josh
Jacobs.
Would you rather have Jerry Jacobs or Okuda right now?
Say what?
Would you rather have Jerry Jacobs or Okuda right now?
Right now at CB2, I'd have rather had Okuda.
Mm-hmm.
You said the Lions couldn't tackle or get sacks. That was your words.
Donkey Kong, yeah, for real, dude.
Tackle, no. Get sacks, duh.
Anyway.
But we shut down a good running back.
Oh.
That gives me hope for this week.
This week, at first, it's about shutting down that run, though, because if we can't do that, we're not going to have opportunities to get sacks because Atlanta's going to come at us heavy run.
Depending on what side they want to use behind.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to run it every single down until we stop them.
Yeah.
Well, like,
butter.
I can't remember what sides, but Jeremy was saying Behan has. I can't remember the numbers though. But he can't. I think he can't run on the left side.
Well,
no.
What he said.
Only averages 2 something yards per.
What he said was true, but it don't matter. We got to stop. We got to stop the run. So
yeah, no matter what. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stop the run. Get your ears back.
You okay, Jeremy?
I'm fine.
Ritter figures it out and throws for 300 yards. Sorry, guys.
He's not going to do that.
No, you're crazy.
He stopped the run.
Dumb.
You will be even more surprised.
No.
I won't be surprised if we stop the run. I predict it.
I bet he throws for 150 and that's
as good as Atlanta's O-line is at run blocking, they're not good at pass protection.
No, and we killed them in the
past game. Again, Behan only rushes 2.3 yards to the left. He rushes 5.2 to the right. You put your tacklers on the right and let everybody just go has the weak left tackle on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're already a better defensive coordinator than Aaron Glenn, just based on that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he is.
Just like in basketball, take away their dominant hand.
Aaron Glenn was never a good defensive coordinator anyway, so.
Just players around him.
Okay. Well, guys, we got through the show. It was a lot of fun. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. Yep. You can tell I'm getting cranky. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts within. This has been Kneecap Biting with the Detroit Lions, and have a great day.
Go Lions.